Hi everyone, and welcome to another interview in the series of interviews that I am going to conduct this year. And it's all about holistic living in Luxembourg. And today I'm super excited because I have as a guest Federica. And we're going to be talking about Reiki, energy healing, energy in general, singing bowls, right?
Singing bowls.
And just how we can feel better and experience more joy, more health, more positivity through Reiki and energy healing. So if you're interested in that, definitely stick to the end of this interview, because at the end Federica is going to give you some tips on how you can actually incorporate this into your life by yourself. So let's just start with a brief introduction. Just tell us a little bit more about who you are and how did Reiki come into your life?
So I'm Federica. I'm a new Reiki practitioner. Reiki came into my life when I was looking for a way to heal myself and my animals in a more natural and gentle way. And at first I was checking around and I tried acupuncture, I tried homeopathy, I tried phytotherapy, and then suddenly one day I was on the computer and then Reiki came and I went to my first training in Berlin. And since then, it's been a huge part of my life, and I've healed so many of my own physical and emotional wounds, and my animals as well. I have one senior animal, she's 13, a little sausage, and she has pain in her front legs when she walks. It kind of creaks a little bit.
Yeah.
And every time she gets Reiki for 3 days, she's walking really well.
Wow, amazing.
So yeah, and it works also good for their mental well-being. When they're older, they become a little senile, so the Reiki helps them to come back to this world instead of being confused.
Oh, that's very interesting. So can you just please explain to the viewers who might be new to this whole thing what Reiki actually is?
What is Reiki?
Yes, and like obviously it's an energy, but how can you describe this energy?
So Reiki is originally from Japan. Mikao Uzui discovered it. He was looking for a way to heal himself without depleting his own energies, and he found Reiki. And Reiki means Rei is universal kind of spiritual wisdom, and Ki is the life force. So it's a life force, but it's always guided by a higher power. So it's not you are just the vessel. You're unimportant. Okay. So this is also the reason why you can't really do anything wrong with Reiki, because there's always a higher power associated with it.
Okay. When you say a higher power, you obviously don't mean like a religion or anything
no,
in that
not
sense,
at all.
right?
No.
It's more the universal.
It's the universe.
Okay, that's interesting. And then, how do you give a Reiki treatment? And is it safe to give a Reiki treatment to everybody?
I would say it's safe to everybody. The only people who need to be a little bit careful are people who are in a very depressive state, because maybe it makes you super high and you feel amazing, but then you might have a big crash after.
Okay.
Just very sensitive, emotional people need to be a bit more careful. But it can also be done in a very gentle way. So instead of getting this crazy high, you can do it little by little. And how it works, basically, well, if you come to Reiki with me, which you should, of course. You are lying down, fully clothed, of course, usually on your back, unless you prefer to be on your belly. And most of the time I don't like to put my hands on the people, because I prefer to keep a bit of a distance. But basically I start from your head and I work down all your chakras, and I realign where I feel there are blockages or where there's excess energy. It depends. And if you have, let's say you have I feel like you have a shoulder problem, then I will also touch your shoulder or your knee. You know, some people have accidents or finger problem. Everything can be just healed.
And you can sense all of that.
Or if you come to me like, look, I just bashed my knee yesterday, can you fix it or try to help me with this pain? Then you can do the knee. But then a lot of time, the pain that you have on your knee doesn't really come from your knee, you know, it comes from somewhere else. So, you might think you have knee pain, but really it's your hip or your back or something completely different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so it's safe for everybody, unless if you're a little bit depressed, maybe a little bit sad, or emotionally, let's say, all over the place, maybe. Okay.
Although it can also help.
You just
need to be a little mindful of it.
So, I mean, you mentioned already actually that it can help with specific issues, like if you have a bit of a pain. What other health issues can it help with, and what in general are the benefits of a Reiki treatment?
Well, I think there's a lot of women watching this. So in my own personal experience, I think Reiki is amazing for anything that is the connection with the feminine womb, the uterus, everything. That's fertility. It's great to reconnect with it, and if you have, let's say you have painful periods, or you have issues getting pregnant, or you just feel disconnected with it, it's very, very powerful to just reconnect with your, you know, your higher femininity, your divine feminine, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Have you noticed clients or even yourself after you do this treatment that you feel different in that regard, or that really actually brings results?
Definitely, it brings a whole connection, and it's much more like a natural flow, and you're connected and you respect it, and you love it, and it loves you back, and it's just like a beautiful energy exchange that you have, instead of, you know, being disconnected with it because it brings you all these pain or stress or traumas that you've had, or being too connected with it. It needs to be like a very gentle
balance.
Exactly.
Okay, so actually in a way it helps us to become aware more of our bodies, and maybe also accepting them more.
Because you're dealing with all these traumas or blockages that you've had, then you go through this path and you find this harmony.
Okay, that's interesting. I've never heard about this, but I think it can be really, really beneficial.
Yeah.
For
and also
women
pregnant
especially.
women, it's very interesting, because then the baby also reacts to it, of course.
Oh wow!
So,
yeah, I can imagine. That must be a special experience.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
Very
cool. Okay, cool. So, just a bit of a personal question, but also so that maybe the viewers can relate a bit more to Reiki. How, in your experience, has your life changed ever since Reiki came into your life?
I think Reiki is, besides the physical and the emotional part, it helps you realize why you are here, you know, what your path is in the world, what your soul wants. And when you're doing something that your soul wants, you are happier, you just see everything positive, you are radiating, and everybody tells you, oh, Federica, you know, what are you doing today? Oh, nothing, you know, I'm just happy, and I see the good in everything. I don't get stressed over little things, or, you know, I'm in the traffic. I used to be a crazy angry driver. Very, very, very angry driver. And now I'm just like
flipping people off.
Insulting people, trying to go ahead of people, bus lane stops, red signs, I don't care, I'm going. Now I'm just in my car, I'm so relaxed, I'm so happy, you know, just enjoying every day. You're here, it's beautiful. You know, why I get stressed and upset, it makes no sense.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. So it even brings that kind of change in the little things in your life.
You see things differently.
Yeah.
And when you see things differently, also your body is different, because then you're not making yourself sick, because you're not stressed, because you're not angry, because somebody cannot upset you like he would upset you before.
Yeah. So it kind of, you actually, in a way, take back control in your life. In a sense.
With leaving control, you take back control.
Yeah. Now another question here that I have for you, to just go a bit more into detail of how Reiki works. There might be some people here who might be thinking, what is that kind of energy? And, you know, so how can you explain that to people who are a bit skeptical towards it?
Come and try it. No, so it's difficult to say how it works, you know, because you only know how it works once you've experienced it. But for me, when I give a Reiki treatment to somebody, I can see the difference, the person that comes in and the person that leaves. And it's sometimes I'm like, I just want to take a picture of them when they come and when they leave, so they can also see it. It's just a completely different, the person is just like shining, and it's just like completely different. But in terms of what it is, like when I'm channeling the Reiki, it comes from, you know, the universe, or however you want to call it, and it comes through my crown and through my heart, and it's through my hands. So I feel the heat, or I feel the cold, and when I scan the body of a person, usually for me, it's different for everybody, but for me, when there's a problem, I feel it cold, when there's a blockage, and so I know that, okay, I need to come back to this spot because there's either a lack of energy or some blockage there emotionally. It can also be completely emotional. A lot of people have heart blockages because of pain that has been done to them, and so it's more difficult for them to heal these you know, emotional wounds, maybe from childhood, who knows. And when there's inflammation there, I get very hot or like tingling, and I'm like, okay, so here it's a more physical problem, so like joint inflammation and things. And how it works, I don't know how it works. Who knows, you know?
The universal magic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Magically, unfortunately, that's the answer. That's how it works.
Yeah, just come and try it if you're skeptical, and then you can make up your own mind.
It's like there's this experiment of the waters. You know, you have the waters filled with like happiness and tension, and the water that's filled with.
Yes, of course.
And then you see the differences.
Yeah.
So that's like Reiki. You know, you don't know how it works.
And considering we're made out of water, I guess that's obviously that makes to such a big extent.
So the intention is also important. So I always have the intention of the highest good of the client.
Okay.
And also if the client comes and he's just like, you know, whatever, this is crap, I'm just going to do it, whatever. He's still going to feel it, and he still has to change it. But of course, somebody who comes like, this is going to change my life, I believe in it, it's going to be amazing. Of course, their change is going to be much faster because they're ready for it.
You're open for it. Yeah.
They're ready to change, they want to change, and of course, those are the people who get such fast results.
Okay. I wanted to ask you actually about this because, you know, your journey obviously started with, you had the animals in your mind, you wanted to help them heal, and then you see it, and I think this is even more fascinating actually because animals can't talk back.
It's what made me believe in it, because I was also skeptic in the beginning. I'm like, what? I can feel it in myself, okay, but maybe I'm just a little bit mad, who knows? But then I saw it in the animals, also animals that were not my animals, horses. Horses react so fast, and they just come and they know and they can feel the energies, and they're just there, and then, so the horse was limping, an hour and a half later, the horse is not limping anymore.
Amazing.
So that's when you're like, wow, this is just really, really amazing.
Yeah. Well, so how can it not change your life once you actually become aware of it and realize that it works? So,
and it's so, you know, it doesn't hurt anything. It's not, I'm not telling you, you need to drink this or take this, or I'm like, how is this?
There's no harm in trying.
There's no harm in trying.
Yeah, you can only benefit from
exactly.
it. Mm-hmm. Well, beyond Reiki, you also do sound healing, and I mean, we're all aware of the fact how music actually can even change us. Just, you know, I have experienced that when I want to, even, you know, sportsmen do that. They put special music before they go for a race or whatever, and it changed how they perform. But or, you know, it can calm you down. It can make you more energized. So in that sense, we all have experienced the power of music in that sense. But can you explain a bit more about the how you can heal with music, and especially we have them here. I don't know if you guys can see them behind. Yes, those are beautiful. How can you explain what they are and how they can help you heal?
These bowls specifically are Alchemy Crystal Singing Bowls. It works very similar to, well, the Reiki because of the chakras. So each bowl works on a specific frequency, and each frequency is related to one of your chakras. Just like when you hum, if you hum very high pitched, you feel it in your head. The lower you hum, the lower you feel it in your body, until you can theoretically feel it on your root chakra. So let's say you come in and you have a bit of a heart blockage, and this creates all this tension here, and you kind of hunchback, you know, everything is blocked, you're trying to protect yourself for whatever various reasons, all the pain that has been done to you, and you haven't totally digested, and you're walking like this, and then I play the beautiful heart bowl, and then you go out and you're just like completely free, and you're walking straight, and you can feel that you have this huge weight that has left your heart, and you just feel much more free, and you're ready to forgive the person that maybe you haven't been able to forgive for all these years because of whatever they have done to you. And it makes you realize that, you need to forgive others in order to heal yourself. And it's always such a thing that every Reiki or music session makes you also understand what you need to do in order to heal yourself. You know, don't put your healing in somebody else's hands.
Yeah,
Take
it's
it
the
into
power
your
is within you.
Exactly.
Oh, that's such an important reminder for everybody, actually, because I think a lot of times when you feel when you don't feel good, and you kind of tend to blame it to other people,
definitely.
blame it to the situation, blame it to, you know, this is the economy, whatever, or this person did this to me, and I'm angry because of what you said. But in the end, actually, it is how we react to it, how we interpret.
And what they do is most of the time not at all associated with you. It's their own
projections, probably with their own issues that
wounds,
they're going.
So don't take it personally anyway, it's not about you.
Yeah, I think it takes a bit of a digesting to get to that actually realization. But once you do, I think it's really
liberating.
Yeah. Now finally, I just have actually to ask you for like simple tips, simple examples that you can maybe give to the viewers that they can do, either an exercise, a simple Reiki exercise that they can do on their own. Is it possible to actually for them to even try it, to kind of feel the energy?
You can try. I mean, in theory for Reiki, you need to get attuned by a master to really feel it, or let's say. But I did this before I got Reiki attunement. So it's called like the energy ball. So you start with your eyes closed, and you feel that there's the energy between your hands. You feel the heat. And little by little, you expand your hands. And you still feel it. And then you kind of move your hands, and you feel it. And you go as far away as you can, keeping this contact. You keep playing with it. And once you've played with this for, let's say, 5 minutes, you can also direct it onto a part of your body which you would like to heal. So you put it on your heart chakra or your solar plexus. And you breathe into it. And you can feel it. You can try doing this. I think it's nice.
It's so relaxing. Obviously, I cannot relax now because it's but it's such a good idea, and I find it actually in general when you just put your hands, it's such a healing, comforting. Actually, comforting. I would say in a way, very comforting, and you just kind of give yourself some love.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I can really, when you did this, you feel it. It's like almost like a magnet.
And sometimes you can get
like
exactly, and then you're like, you can't put it back together, and it gets bigger, 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 and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna give it to myself.
Okay, great. Well, then there you have it. Try this out and see how it works for you. And then, of course, if you're interested in trying a Reiki treatment, then make sure you check out Federica and visit her website. It's called reikiwithfederica.com.
Yes.
And there you can find more information about the services that she offers, as well as about the singing bowls. And just give it a try, have an open mind, and you might be surprised with the results. So that's from us today. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Until next time, bye.
Bye.